Hey, virtual learners. I'm just gonna quickly get you caught up. I did not post any video content last week because we were just working on your circles. You should have completed or nearly completed your two circular designs. One of them warmer and kind of a more excited, upbeat look. Some people thought these maybe even looked angry, so if you kind of went in that direction, you could. And one that's more cooler, kind of calmer, kind of melancholy. And if the feeling that comes across isn't that clear, that's fine too. Okay. When you're done with those, you are going to choose one that you like the best. So you're going to choose a circle. If it's helpful to people in my class, we are dividing that paper in half, but you don't have to. And this is going to be the inspiration for our next pastel project, okay? And we're going to enlarge this. It's going to be the first time working large and messy. If you are at home, you are going to need to email me and contact me, and you're going to have to pick up a large black piece of paper for this. You do have pastels in your kit in that little brown baggie. If you need more of those, you can contact me as well. If you could see the step that I'm going to do for you, I'm going to trace this very large black circle onto a piece of black paper, and I'm going to cut it out. So you will have the piece of black paper with the large circle on it if you pick it up, and you'll have to cut it out at home. This is the size that it will look like if it's cut out, okay? Then I just want you to use your observational skills, and it does not have to be exact by any means, okay? I want you to draw out using a ruler, using templates, whatever you have. I want you to draw out the design on the large one that was on the small one. Some things are inevitably going to change. You might add things, you might take things away, you might not get a triangle or something in the right spot. It is totally fine, but you're going to draw out with a pencil or a white pastel what this design looks like. Now, when you draw on here, the great thing is, like, if your pastel isn't perfect, it's just going to blend in later. So, like, if you need to kind of sketch and you get, marks out everywhere, it doesn't matter because that's going to go away when you use your pastel. When you start to color with pastel, and I didn't even bring my box over here, so hold on. I'm back. All right, when you start to color with pastel, you want to think about this process the opposite of how you think about slow, steady pencil mark making, okay? You want to pick out, like if I'm doing a green section right here, you want to pick out several different greens, maybe some yellow, because yellow's next to it on the color wheel, maybe some white. White's always a good blending tool. And so I'm not just going to use one color on a section. I'm going to use multiple colors. And I'm going to start coloring in a certain direction. The direction of your marks are important. It's almost just like a quick gestural mark that you'd make with a crayon. And I'm going to start layering these marks on top of each other. And what happens, the richness comes from layering and from mark making. It doesn't come from like all of these perfect little marks. So honestly, this design is going to take you maybe 4 days in class, maybe 5, but like I'm going to rush people along and say, come on, like get your marks in there, get going. Like don't be afraid to just put some marks down and utilize mark making. And if you fade from light into dark, you can fade that white pastel in. That will really pop out on the dark. So when in doubt, put a little white pastel in with it. And you can see in my blue wave, I'm following the direction of the wave because the direction of the marks are important. But I'm not being too careful. And I'm going to hold this up to the camera here really close so you guys can see the texture of what's on here, and I'll also put some examples of good oil pastel, and you'll see that oil pastel is best used in large spaces where you can layer it. Okay. Okay, so you get really up close to the camera there. And you can see just the direction and the layering of the marks. I put like tons of colors into that wave. In the end, you're gonna have a giant piece that looks reminiscent of this piece, and you can compare. Like, do you like the smaller, more controlled, really smooth motion, or did you like to get after it a little bit with this larger piece? This is more physical. You kind of have to stand up and get into it. All right. Please email me if you need that large paper, and that's it.